Hi, I'm here in the Paizo booth with Erik, the publisher. Could you tell us a little about the miniatures behind us, Erik?
Yeah, absolutely. This is pretty much all the miniatures we've released to date for the Pathfinder Battles pre-painted plastic miniatures that we do with WizKids. These ones right here are the full set of the Skull and Shackles miniatures, which came out yesterday. And those support the Pathfinder Adventure Path Skull and Shackles, which is our pirate adventure path. Cool thing about this set is it's got a lot of aquatic creatures and sort of pirate themed stuff, which has never really been done before in pre-painted plastic. So people have got all kinds of huge miniature collection. There's tons of new stuff for them in there. And then people who are just starting their miniatures collection, there's lots of really cool figures as well. And WizKids just keeps making a better and better job with each set, and we push them harder every time, and they respond every time, and I think this is the best set we've released so far.
Fantastic. So out of this selection behind us, which is your favorite?
I think this guy right here is my favorite. It's like a little round, five-eyed creature. And he's got all kinds of little weird heads on the top and singing. It almost looks like the Beatles. It's got mop tops, and it's called a seaweed siren. And it's like a seaweed creature that like scuttles along the beach on its crab legs and tries to lull people into submission, and then to eat them with its giant lower mouth.
People are weird.
Yeah. So the reason I love that guy so much is I'm the one actually, because I'm such a miniatures fiend. Even though I'm doing a lot of other things at the company, I'm like, I will not let anyone else like pick the minis and stuff, so I still do that, and it's fun and everything, but it's also a fair amount of work, and there's a lot of stuff, especially when we're doing an adventure path like Skull and Shackles is the main theme. There's a lot of figures I kind of need to do, and so every set I like to give myself one figure that I don't have to justify. It's just like, I want to do that because it's ugly, or I want to do that because it's crazy.
Your miniature.
Right, and there's 55 figures in every set, so the way to figure it out is miniature number 54 is always what I like to call Erik's choice.
Okay.
So this one's the seaweed siren, it's always just one that I just want for no reason other than just pure selfishness. So this guy, for example, every issue of Pathfinder has a Pathfinder bestiary, a section of monsters in the back, and sometimes they're in the adventures and sometimes they're not. In this case, the seaweed siren does not even appear in the adventure path proper, in the adventures. He's literally just a monster that a crazy freelancer threw into the thing, and I was like, I want that guy. So I don't know if it was responsible, but it's super fun.
Brilliant. But you do a blog every Friday about miniatures, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yep, Paizo blog. I just Pathfinder Miniatures preview. I'll show off about 4 or 5 figures from every set. I like to give kind of a little bit of the behind the scenes on it. So if it's like, if one was particularly challenging for some reason, sometimes the miniature will go through, I think the record is 9 different iterations before it gets fully approved, and it's interesting. I came at this whole business like a fan first, and so I realized I get to see some elements of kind of behind the scenes of how stuff's made that is really interesting to me, but other people don't get to see it much, and it's really fun to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit and say, okay, and in some ways maybe admit, well, this was really hard, and it took us a while to get this right. And you can kind of get in on the process, and I think that makes it a lot easier to appreciate the final thing, and it kind of builds up excitement as we're leading into the new sets.
It increases some interaction with the fans as well.
Right. And in particular, the Pathfinder Battles fans are really like, it's very give and take. So they'll say, oh, I've always hoped to get this figure, or I have an older version of this creature, but it's not really that great, or it was a common figure in the game, but in the old DDM it was a rare figure and I want more. Just stuff like that, and that helps inform me of what the audience might want. And I've made many decisions to put figures in sets just based on suggestions from the audience.
That's amazing. The other thing is that you're here to announce live on camera the launch of Pathfinder 2, I believe.
No.
That's what I was told.
There is, well, I'd love to hear who told you that. No, there's no Pathfinder 2. Pathfinder core rulebook has sold more copies every year than the year before, and so there's no reason for us to get in and muck around with the rules.
So you haven't got any sort of extended lifetime plan for?
No, I mean we've certainly talked about like what would happen if sales start going down, or and there's always a game designer in particular always trying to kind of sand away the rough edges and make minor improvements, but our preference is to make improvements with supplementary material and things like that, and it's not ready for a new edition of the game.
Oh, I'm saying it was.
Yeah, yeah. And nor am I live on camera or anywhere else.
You told me.
No.
It was fantastic talking to you, Erik.
Awesome. Great talking to you, Russ. Yep.